the car, and your daughter says that you did in fact give her some money when she got into trouble. In exchange for that, she waited on you hand and foot like a slave, and if you had to pay somebody to take care of you, it would have cost you a lot more than what she actually took from you. Is that your defense?
That's a lie.
Shh.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
That's your defense. How old are you?
I'm 32.
What kind of trouble did you get into, Miss Bentley?
I was picked up with the sale of drugs.
Drug sale?
Yes, ma'am. I haven't been charged yet, but I was picked up for that.
When was that?
That was September 1st, 2004.
Are those charges still pending?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a lawyer involved in that case? What did you need money for?
Well, whenever I first moved, my mom offered me a place to stay, to get back on my feet, to get cleaned up and stay out of trouble. And I took her up on it, and I had a couple of hot checks.
What do you mean hot checks?
Well, I mean, I had written a couple of checks, and they weren't covered. I thought the money was in the bank, but it wasn't.
So you needed money?
Right. She offered. I didn't ask.
How much money did you need?
That was, I think that was $250 at that time. And there was also an incident where I was going through a divorce at the same time, and I had my ex filed telephone harassment on me. And so I also had to fine for that for court. I didn't ask her to pay. Again, she offered. I was going to come up with the money.
You were going to come up with the money.
Right.
How much was that?
$500.
Does your mother work?
Nope.
How does she support herself?
My stepdad pays her bills.
So she's married and she lives with her husband?
Yes.
So it really is the income that's coming into the house is his income.
Right. She loans it out to other family members just like she did me.
She offers it to other family members with the understanding that they're not going to pay her back.
Or that they will if they can, whenever. If they don't, she wants it right then she wants it right then.
Who are you?
Her witness, Robert Dillahunty.
How is he related to you?
He's my boyfriend. He was there whenever she offered to pay some of the bills for me and stuff.
Was he also arrested on these drug charges?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the same lawyer or a different lawyer?
Different lawyers.
That's a good idea. You understand why you have a different lawyer, don't you?
No.
Because eventually one of you is going to put it on the other.
Amen.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
They both
that's
lie
why,
like dogs.
That's why I have two different lawyers. So let's deal with the $750.
Well, totally it is $244.54 for your hot checks for you.
Okay, she said $250. It's close enough. What's next?
And the other one, I had just gotten out of the hospital on Wednesday night, and I get a phone call the next morning around 10 a.m. on Thursday from Robert Dillahunty's mother, Margaret Dillahunty, saying that Shannon had to have $404 or she was going to go to jail. Well, I had no other way to get it. My twin was sick. She couldn't go take it. I paid Mr. Deaton by telephone, and he charged me an extra $100 to do it.
Okay. Well, once you turned over the money, tell me about the discussion you had with your daughter.
Well, she knew she had to pay me back. I told her, I said, Shannon Michelle, I ain't growing money on trees. She knows she got to pay me back.
No, Miss Ogden, listen to me very carefully. I want to know what you said to her and what she said to you when you finally saw her after you paid this money.
She said, Mother, I'll get a job. As soon as I get my job, I'll pay you back. And as soon as I cash my stocks in, I'll pay you back. I've heard this and heard that.
Just a second. Did she ever get a job?
No, but she got offered one and she wouldn't take it.
Did she ever sell her stocks? What kind of stocks do you have?
There were some my dad, he passed away in 2002. There were some he had with Dow back from like the 70s. It was just a few $1,000s worth.
So what'd you do with the money?
I'm having them transferred right now into my name because I was executrix of his estate. And Judge, I couldn't get a job because I pretty much did everything for her. When I moved in,
is a lie.
I did
Miss
everything.
Ogden.
I did everything for the woman. I cleaned. She, get me something to drink, get me a beer, get me this. She was constantly, it never.
So what?
I was her maid. How could I get a job?
Miss Bentley.
I did the best I
Miss
could.
Bentley, you're not there now. You're not taking care of your mother now. Why can't you get a job now?
I can. I'm looking. I'm going to school full time and I'm looking for work.
Look, listen to me. You have children?
Yes, ma'am, too.
Your children don't live with you.
No, ma'am.
They live with their father.
They live with his parents.
Or with his parents.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't live with you.
Right.
Or him.
Right.
Amen.
Ditto to that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your problem is that you've had a windfall of money. According to your mother, $375,000.
I have a house paid for, I have a car paid for, I have...
Lupton Police Department has it.
And later today...
I got mad and I went and I took a baseball bat to the back window.
Who was in the car at the time?
Her daughter was in the car.
Her baby was in the car.
And I did not know that at the time.
No, I told them. Shh.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sherry Ogden says Her daughter, Shannon Bentley, owes for loans she made while Shannon was trying to get clean. Shannon says because of drugs, she lost everything.
This is not the time for a 32-year-old woman to be in school full-time, my dear. This is the time for a 32-year-old woman to be in school part-time and working. Because if you have children who are being taken care of by their paternal grandparents, in addition to paying your mother back for the money she laid out to keep you out of jail, you should be sending support for your children. How's that for an eye-opener?
I agree. You're right. I mean, I've looked for a job.
You're not looking hard enough, honey. Anybody can get a job.
Thank you.
Anybody can get a job. Fast food, drying cars at a car wash. Anybody can get a job. Your problem is that you've had a windfall of money. According to your mother, $375,000.
No, ma'am, it wasn't that much.
How much?
It was around $250,000.
$250,000 is $250,000. That's a lot of money.
I have a house paid for. I have a car paid for. I have
Lufkin
land.
Police Department has it.
Shh. Listen to me, Miss Ogden. Don't speak.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say to you is, you got a lot of money. That can make you a real lazy behind. But you have responsibility. When was the last time you sent your children support?
I haven't supported them. I've bought clothes for them. And
That's not support. Support is sending their grandparents $500 a month. And I suggest that if you want to be considered a mother at any time in your life, you will start to do that. Get a job and start supporting your children. Because that's what mothers are supposed to do who don't have their children in their custody, just like fathers. But first, you pay your mother back $750, judgment.
Wait, I got $1,250 in there where I loaned her to. It's on there.
Is that for the car? Shh, listen to me. Was that for the car?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to pay careful attention to me and just listen to me.
Okay.
The car was repossessed.
I had them.
You had them repossess the car.
You know why? I couldn't stand it being in Lufkin, Texas because of her and Dopehead over here. Insurance could elapse on a Friday night. Well, I wouldn't know that Gates got it. Right? And then
Miss
she don't
Ogden,
get high
I
and wet and
understand.
kill
Listen to
somebody.
me. I understand why you felt compelled to repossess the car. But there was no legal reason. There was an emotional reason for you to repossess the car. You said, listen, I'm not crazy about him. I'm not crazy about her. And I'm not going to be stuck with this payment because it could end up on my credit, so I'm going to call them and have the car repossessed. I can understand why you did it. But then you can't get the money back for the tax tags. All right,
But the tax
$750.
license was
I'm
only
speaking.
$700.
Listen to me. I'm speaking. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $750.
But Judge,
That's all.
I'm telling you, listen to this tape right here. No, listen. She owed me $1,250.
All right, that's it.
What is your excuse? You may step out.
You liar. She went through all of that money on drugs, and there's a dopehead over there with her.
I bought a house, bought cars. I mean, the money's gone. This is true.
She stood there and told her bald-faced lie. I don't even drink beer. She'd get up and get me a beer. She didn't wait on me for no hand or foot and a man in the moon.
Well, she's crazy because, I mean, she takes so many pills, it's pathetic. She's nothing but a pill head.
You sold Vicodins and Zoloft and
My mother
Prozac to other doctors and stuff in Pasadena.
You know why she goes to school? She gets Pell Grants. That way she can live on it.
My mom has nothing to do with the kids. She can go see them on her own. She don't. She calls them occasionally. She don't leave her house, leave her pill bottle.
Well, I love her. I hope she gets her life straightened out. But if she can't get her life straightened out, she better stay out of mine, because I don't want to go to penitentiary.
I just don't think there'll ever be a relationship. There never has been one. There's never going to be one.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Finnegan versus Cooper. Step forward, please.
19-year-old warehouse worker Justin Finnegan is suing 28-year-old student Catherine Cooper for backing into his car. Catherine says Justin was illegally parked.
Mr. Finnegan, it is your claim that Miss Cooper damaged your car by backing into it.
Yes, that is correct.
And you want her to pay for the damage that was done to your car. Miss Cooper says that your car is, or was, I don't know if it's still in existence, an illegally parked piece of junk. Okay, where did this happen, Mr. Finnegan?
This...
No, listen to me. I didn't ask you to show me. It's not show and tell. Where did it happen?
We were at the apartment complex.
At an apartment complex?
Yes.
Whose apartment complex?
Her old apartment complex and my witness Matt's apartment complex.
You don't live there?
No, I do not.
What were you doing there?
I was visiting with my friend Matthew.
When?
September 20th.
2004.
Yes, that is correct.
Now you can go over to your chart and show me where your car was. Okay. You say your car was parked.
Yes. No, it was still running. I had forgot my wallet, and I was parked right here.
Well, that says driveway. It's written there, driveway. So you left your car running in the driveway. Where had your car been parked, Mr. Finnegan?
My car was parked right here.
That says friend's car.
When we had left, no one was there. That was where I was parked.
Okay, so that space, you were occupying that space, and then you backed out into the driveway, left your car running, and went back inside to get a wallet?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, now my question to you is, why didn't you pull back into the parking space?
Because we were just running in real quick.
Not we. Don't say we. You were driving?
Yeah.
It's your car, not we
That's
were
correct.
running in. And who ran in? How many people did it take to get a wallet?
I ran in real quick to grab the wallet.
So you were driving. So my question to you is, why didn't you pull back into the parking space?
I wasn't going to take that long. I was just running and grab the wallet and turn around.
It was long enough for somebody to hit your car.
She was backing out.
It was long enough for somebody to hit your car.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Justin Finnegan says his car was damaged when Catherine Cooper backed into him. Catherine says Justin retaliated by breaking out her rear window with a baseball bat.
Then what happened, Mr. Finnegan?
I had grabbed the wallet, turned around, came out the front door, and we started yelling because she was coming close to the car. And
Who's we?
me and my witness, Matt, and I had another friend outside, and we were all yelling, "Watch out, watch out."
Just a second. Where was this witness?
He,
not we.
Matt
he.
was standing right here, right outside of the
He was
car
standing on the
grass.
grass. What was he doing there?
He had got out to talk to someone.
And she hit your car.
Yes, that is correct.
All right, show me.
Okay.
What's this house? Picture of a house.
That one is a picture of the pole.
What does a pole have to do with this?
I was just showing that she has broke that pole several times with her vehicle.
I want to see a picture of your whole car, sir.
The whole car? We don't have one of the full car.
Why not?
Because I just took a picture of
What's
only
this
the
plural? What's a we?
Sorry.
I want to see a picture of the whole car. She says that this is a gray car that you've painted with house paint. Looks like that to me on this little thing over here, because that has to go to your damages, sir. Is this car painted with house paint?
No, it's primer. It was red.
Primer. Who painted it with primer?
It was primered when I had bought it. I was getting ready for paint.
How long have you had it?
I had it for a year.
Did you ever have it painted?
I haven't had it yet. It's sitting in the shop right now.
Why?
Because I was rebuilding the car.
All right, Miss Cooper, I'll hear you.
Okay.
That's part of the 20th of September, 2004. You backed into his car.
Yes, I did. And right after that happened, I got all his friends. There was more than that many people out, and they surrounded me, and they were yelling at me and calling me all kinds of horrible names. And I told them, fine, I'll just pay you. I was on my way to work. So I left after that. I needed to get out of there. There was a bunch of teenagers, and they were all partying. There's a lot of traffic in and out of the place all the time. And they all started harassing me, and the harassment never ended.
Okay, so you backed into his car.
Yeah.
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it. There was a car parked next to me. I was parked in my normal parking spot, and
I see where you say your car was parked.
Okay.
Now, what happened then, Mr. Finnegan? She didn't pay you for it, is that right?
Yes, she had asked me to bring her an estimate, and she would make payments for it.
Fine. Did you bring her an estimate?
Yes, I did.
Was it a reasonable estimate?
Yes.
What was it for?
It was $670.20.
How much did you pay for the car?
I paid $2,000 for the car.
What year, make, and model car is it?
It's a 1990 Honda Civic.
Did you buy it in primer coat?
Yes, I did.
And you paid $2,000 for it?
That is correct.
Somebody saw you coming. So you gave her this estimate. Go ahead. What happened
correct.
there?
And I had waited. She had said she was waiting on a check, and I had said, okay. And I had came back to her, and she had said, I don't have the money. I just started a new job. And I had waited another week or so, and I had came back, and I followed up each week about the money, and every time it was a different story.
Why don't you tell Officer Bird here what you did, sir?
I had asked her about the money, and she said, well, I'm moving and I don't have the money. And so out of anger, I got mad and I went and I took a baseball bat to the back window.
Of what?
Of her vehicle.
Of her car?
That's correct.
Who was in the car at the time?
Her daughter was in the car.
Her baby was in the car?
And I did not know that at the time.
No, I told them.
Shh, 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 shh. Sorry. Got it?
Oh, yeah.
You got your anger out. And you were arrested.
That's correct.
And you pled guilty to vandalism.
It was criminal mischief.
And you were forced to pay restitution.
That is correct.
What do we think, Petrie Hawkins Bird? Evidently, Mr. Finnegan understands how to go to small claims court and file papers.
Apparently.
He even knows how to oversee drawing diagrams.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Finnegan, you think I'm sympathetic to you, sir?
No, ma'am.
You're right. That you're right about. And why do you think I'm not sympathetic to you, Mr. Finnegan?
Because of what I did was not right.
Correct.
In any way, shape,
One
or
thing
form.
was an accident, at least partially caused by your own negligence for leaving your car running in a parking lot where there are children around. Child could have run into the car, driven, hurt themselves, hurt a lot of other people because you couldn't take the time. You must have been off to a very, very important corporate meeting so that you couldn't pull the car back into the parking space, turn off the ignition, and take the key when you went inside to get your wallet. So at least you were partially responsible for what happened to your own piece of junk.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And instead of acting like a grown-up and saying, well, she's not paying me, that's not the right thing to do, maybe it'll cost me $50 to have my car fixed. Instead, you take a baseball bat to her car with her baby in the car sitting in the back seat and smash the window.
Yes, ma'am.
You think that a court is going to be sympathetic to you?
No, ma'am.
You're right. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused.
5:20 on the calendar in the matter of Williams versus Williams. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
What's your first name?
Sir.
Is that what people call you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Interesting first name.
Thank you.
Miss Williams, this is your cousin. According to your complaint, you leased an apartment with him, with one other person?
With him, yes, ma'am.
Just with him?
Yes, ma'am.
And your agreement was as follows, that you were going to pay the rent and he was going to pay the utilities.
Yes, ma'am.
The utilities were in your name. He didn't pay the utilities. According to you, he owes you several $100s for the utility bills before he moved out. And in addition, because he didn't pay the utilities, he ruined your credit, so you want him to pay additional damages to you. Sir says that there was never any agreement for him to pay the utilities, and in addition, this has nothing to do with anything other than a family dispute that you have, which caused you at some later time to come to his home, where he had moved with his grandmother, and you came in, you poured bleach, and you ruined his clothing and his shirts and his shoes, and you have some property that belongs to him. When did you sign this lease with your cousin?
Ma'am, I have the lease agreement right here. He signed it on the 25th. Actually, he signed it on 6/20/04.
Where had you lived before?
With my grandmother.
Were you working at the time you moved in with your cousin?
Yes, ma'am.
Who were you working for?
EBS Janitorial Services.
How much money were you making?
$9 an hour.
Working 40 hours a week?
Yes, ma'am.
Your cousin says that you had an agreement that you were supposed to take care of the utilities.
No, ma'am.
Why in the world would she sign a lease with you? You did sign a lease, didn't you?
Yes.
And you not have any responsibility to pay any of the bills at all?
No, I moved in with her. She said she was going to help me get on my feet. She was about to get a house built, and I was going to move out and get my own apartment.
But you signed the lease?
Yes. That's for my apartment credit, so I can get my own apartment. I wouldn't have that much hassle.
And when did you move out?
I got put out.
When?
The end of August, beginning of September.
When did you put him out?
Ma'am, actually, I didn't put him out, but it was in October. My cousin, we had a birthday party for him on October 2nd. He stopped by with his nephew, picked up some things, and that's the last time I saw him. I haven't even spoken to him since all this happened, to be honest with you.
Ma'am, actually, she did put me out. She told me, give him my house key, get out, and if you don't have all your stuff out here by Sunday, it's going to be scattered out across the apartments.
You lived there for 3 months.
Correct.
What did you do with all your money?
Nothing. I bought my clothes. I bought stuff that I needed.
And you didn't give your cousin any money?
No, I wasn't supposed to.
I didn't ask you whether you say you weren't supposed to. That's what grown-ups do when they have a job, sir.
Okay.
They take care of their own responsibility. You know, when you were living with your grandmother, were you giving her any money?
No.
You giving her any money now?
No.
Are you still working?
No, ma'am.
Well, did you lose your job?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
According to my job, I had a lot of calls coming in from her and her friend that they said that they were being rude with them. They used to call my job for unnecessary stuff like, I'm his girlfriend, there's an emergency, and all this other type of thing. That's what my job was told to me.
You got to start taking care of your own responsibilities. You have a girlfriend?
Yes, I do.
You don't have any children?
No, ma'am.
Take your girlfriend out?
Nope.
He was supposed to take care of the utilities?
Yes, ma'am, he was.
Tell me what you told him when he moved in.
Actually, madam, there's a history behind this. Back in 2002, I got out of the military. I'm in the United States Marine Corps. He actually lived with both my sister and I. We were roommates. We rented a house. We stayed there for a year. When our lease was up, we moved into an apartment. I was purchasing a home. Sir was with us the whole time. Yes, I was helping him out. He was my brother. He asked me if he could be my brother. We were raised together. She's my grandmother, too. We moved into this apartment. I was actually working. He was working for me when all this happened with EBS. I got him the job. I was in property management. I was taking him to and from work. The deal was I would pay
Was she driving
rent.
you to and from work?
Yes, she did.
I would
Go ahead.
I would pay rent because I made, more money he did. He would pay the utility bills.
What utilities?
The electric bill, the telephone bill, the cable bill, and also, madam, I got him a cellular phone in my name, which I'm not litigating against today, but those bills, which, totally conclusively didn't really add up too much. I mean, I was paying rent.
In total, for the 3 months that he lived with you,
yes, ma'am.
How much were those bills? The electricity, telephone,
the
and
cable bill was $464.80, and the
$464?
$464
For 3 months?
and 80 cents. Yes, ma'am.
What kind of cable did you have?
Besides the cable bill, someone else, and it wasn't me. I don't know who it was, but they ordered movies or something like that, fights, which I guess costs more money.
Did you ever do that?
No, ma'am. She ordered those fights.
Just a minute. What was the basic cable bill?
I think it was like $97 a month or something like that.
Is that possible?
Yes.
It's entirely possible.
All right, so that's $300. What else?
The telephone is $166.79, and the electric bill was $604.59.
What was your rent?
$720, but I also paid a wash and dryer, which was $35, and a water bill, which was usually about, I'll say $30 a month.
So you were paying about $780, and he was paying about $350.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds fair to me.
No,
Sir?
She also had a roommate that moved in with her.
Who was that?
That was her friend.
My lover. But
Just a second.
Go ahead.
Well, if that's the case, then this doesn't look so fair.
She did not live there, but she was there a lot. Sir had his own room. She was in my room.
They shared rooms.
Well, I mean, that's my space.
They moved in, they said that they were going to split the bills, and whenever they
we
did
did
that.
not. She did.
No, don't interrupt
Yes,
him.
ma'am.
He's speaking now. Go ahead.
She moved in, as soon as we moved to the apartment, she said, well, we're going to split the bills, and we're going to take care of this and that and the other, because she was getting a house built. I was going to sign my name on the lease for 3 months. Now that she's not going to be able to get her house, I guess that's why she's upset.
This is what I don't understand. She was building a house, which means that she had to have a certain credit rating. According to what I read, these bills were in her name.
Correct.
And it doesn't sound logical to me that she would avoid paying these bills purposely, not pay these bills, unless she thought, I'm speaking, unless she thought someone else was taking care of those bills and risk her credit being put in the sewer when she was paying the rent, going to pay for a mortgage on a house, right?
Correct.
So what you tell me about your lack of any sort of financial obligation for your own living expenses or for part of them doesn't make sense, sir.
She was helping me out.
Doesn't make sense, my dear. Now, you want to tell me about the bleached clothes?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I says, I'm going to call the police. And she said, oh, hell no, you're not going to call the police. And she shoved me up against the wall with the bat and asked me if I wanted some of it.
Oh, Nana, please stop it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tony Williams says her cousin, Sir Williams, lived with her for free for 3 months. She is suing for $5,000 worth of household bills.
Madam, I have never bleached his clothes. As far as a clock, radio, and the stereo, my mother gave me that for my 30th birthday.
Okay. There came a time when you went to your grandmother's house.
Yes, ma'am.
You were angry with him.
I was.
You were angry with him because he didn't pay these bills?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there any other reason?
No, I was mad at him because my credit was in the toilet. I got all these telephone calls. They were turning off my electricity.
So you went to the house and you were angry. What did you do when you got there?
I talked to my Nana, and I was upset. I was crying. I mean, I was very frustrated. She told me she didn't believe me. She told me that I was mad at her because of some girl between my sister. I have no idea. I started talking to my Uncle Robert, his dad. My Uncle Robert told me the same thing. I said, I have the paperwork right here.
What do you think that your cousin was angry about? About some girl?
No, we, that night when I got off work and I came home, she was upset. She was sitting on the couch talking about something about me and my cousin was at this other girl's house and waiting on my other cousin to come in. She said she called, she talked to my cousin, he told her I was asleep on the couch. She said not even 5 minutes later after that, her sister called, Wanika called, and said the girl was just talking crazy to her, and she was wondering why I didn't stick up for her, why I didn't defend her. I said, well, I was asleep on the couch, so I didn't know anything about that.
You mean okay. Let me see if I can translate this.
It doesn't even make sense.
Your cousin was angry because she had heard that someone was saying bad things about her and you didn't defend her?
To her sister.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She was saying somebody was saying bad things and you weren't defending her. And your excuse for not defending her, despite the fact that she had been so good to you,
it's not an
was that you were sleeping on the couch.
Correct.
Now you got it? All right. Now, what happened when she came in with regard to your clothes? She came in, she spoke to her Nana, she spoke to your father.
I wasn't there. Actually,
who was there?
My grandmother was there.
You want to talk to me?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your last name?
Ruth Williams.
All right, Miss Williams.
Ruth Williams Caraway.
Do you remember when this happened?
Not exactly the date, but it started in September.
Now, I want to know when she came to the house.
Let me see, I got that wrote on it. It's been on it. Anyway, it was the 10th and the 4th, I think. She had first called and asked me where was Sir. I told her he wasn't there. She said, because I'm going to kill him. I said, no. I said, you're not going to kill him. Yes, I am going to kill him because he left and owed me some money. I said, no, Tony, don't do this. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And then she left. And then I talked to her other sister, and she was raving. She said, I love my sister. He do just what she get him. So I said, well, he's not here. And when she come over to the house, she just rushed in the house, fussing and going on, and went on into his room. Her mother was standing on one side of the door. I was standing on the other. And she went in, and he always put Clorox in his room because I'm allergic to it. And she taken a whole gallon of Purex and put all over both the bunk beds, throw the fan on the floor. We got pictures of those.
I'd like to see it, please.
And spread them all over his clothes. And I told him, I says, I wouldn't do that. I says, I'm going to call the police. And she said, oh, hell no, you're not going to call the police. And she shoved me up against the wall. She shoved her mama, too, but her mama said she didn't do it. Her mama was on one side, I was on the other. And she shoved me up against the wall and went and didn't hang up. Of course, I told her mama to hang up the phone so I could call the police. So she didn't let her hang up the phone. So I didn't get to call the police. So they went out in the yard. I called and told my brother-in-law to tell Sir, don't come home. I said, because Tony's over here saying she gonna kill it. And I don't want that in my house. They stayed at my yard about 3.5 hours, raving and cussing and dragging a whole box of these clothes out there and filled them full of water. And that's where they left her. And she went and got a baseball bat. She come back to the house. That's when I said that she needed help. She come back to the house and was going to run in. Her mama said, shut the door, don't let her in. So I had to screen those clothes, and she just snatched the screen door, which I got a picture of that too, and pulled it loose and asked me if I wanted some of it.
Oh, Nana, please stop it.
I told her no, that she wasn't going to get in, to leave my house, and don't ever come back anymore, because I've never had a granddaughter to disrespect me as much. She said, well, I'm going to get him when he come home. So her mother, her sister, and I guess that was her other lady friend. Anyway, it was a friend of hers. They stayed in my house about 3.5 hours, sitting out on the porch with a baseball bat, waiting for him to come home. So When he come, I just showed him the room. She showed I have a bruise on this hip and my shoulder I can still feel.
Nana, please
And
stop.
I told her, my daughter, I thought it was all over till he got a summary that saying he was going to court. I don't know why I had the pictures taken, but I had them taken because I felt that I needed proof to show that something had happened.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tony Williams says her cousin, Sir Williams, owes for 3 months' worth of rent and bills.
If you're 20 years old and you're working and you have a job and you have a cousin who before all this happened was very good to you, right?
Correct.
According to you, if I'm to believe you, she was really very good to you for a long time because you lived with her more than 3 months, right?
And I never paid rent.
I'm not talking about paying rent. That doesn't make you a star, the fact that you lived with her for more than 3 months and didn't pay rent. That makes you a bottom sucker.
No.
Now, listen to me carefully, my dear. She says that you lived with her before.
I never paid rent. I never was supposed to.
I understand you didn't pay rent. She said you lived with her before, which means she was good to you.
Correct. So why is she suing me then?
After I'm finished with him, have a big boy discussion with him. Maybe he'll get it from you. Maybe he'll get it from you. You have to explain to me, sir, why someone who has had a history of being nothing but nice to you, let you live with her, supported you, got you a job, all of a sudden would turn on you like that. You have to explain that to me. It doesn't make sense.
There's no explanation for that. I don't know why she did that.
Are you still in the military?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
You didn't have a psychiatric discharge, did you?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Not crazy.
She bleached my clothes.
No, ma'am, I did
She
not.
busted
Just a
into the
second.
house.
Miss Williams. Miss Williams, listen, look at me.
Yes, ma'am.
Angry. You were, I believe, your grandmother. You went to the house, you and a friend, and you were absolutely beside yourself for whatever reason. So I believed you bleached his clothes.
I did not, madam.
Show them
Yeah,
pictures.
you probably did.
I'm sorry.
Probably did.
I did not.
Probably did.
I have a witness here can attest to this fact. Not only was it us, it was not another woman with me. It was myself, my sister, who drove me over there because I was upset. She didn't want me driving. There was a guest, a neighbor, actually, who came over to us, and we were not in the yard 3.5 hours. I was in there maybe 45 minutes. I don't know. I was upset.
Long time.
My mom
You were
was
upset.
calming me down. I did not have a bat. Anyway, this neighbor came over to us.
I even had a friend that came in.
Sir owed him money. I'm guessing. That's what he told us. My sister can attest to this. I did not bleach his clothes. I didn't even steal my radio that he stole from me that my mother gave me on my 30th birthday. And as far as those pictures, to be honest with you, I think maybe they staged that. I love my grandmother to death. Now, you have no clue as to how much you've hurt me today. You have no idea. And to say that I hit you, I would never have been to yell and scream at my mother, too. I wasn't even raised that way.
Just a second. So you're not saying that she hit you?
She shoved me.
Shoved you?
Yeah, up against the wall like that.
Miss Williams, I believe that you are owed a certain amount of money. I believe that your cousin agreed to pay for the utilities.
No, I did not.
Don't interrupt me! Listen to me. I may be wrong. This may be one of the few times since 1947 that I have been wrong. I'm willing to live with it, because if you did not agree to pay some share of the living expenses, I'm prepared to be comfortable in the fact that you should have. So I find that there was an agreement, and if I'm wrong, I'm prepared to live with it. Do you understand, sir? Sir? Do you understand that, sir?
I don't think I should have paid anything.
You wouldn't.
Listen to me. Don't speak to him.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't speak to him.
Because if that was the case, why would all the other times when I stayed with her, I wasn't obligated to pay any rent? Why all of a sudden now her bills get outrageous? Now she wants
Because
me to
now,
pay.
sir, you are a big boy. And you signed the lease. And you owe her $1,070.
Also, the lease says that I was an occupant. She was the leaseholder.
And you've got a big fresh mouth, so I'm dismissing your counterclaim. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Versus Lawson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Wages, it is your claim that Mr. Lawson, who used to be a friend of yours, assaulted you when you were out camping with him and with some of his friends. Mr. Lawson says that you absolutely were not assaulted. What happened is you got into sort of a scuffle and you fell and had a seizure. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
How do you know him?
I met him through a friend of my cousin's.
Were you dating him?
No.
But you decided to go camping with a group.
Right.
And where were you going camping?
Carlsbad State Beach.
You have to keep your voice up. I'm old.
I'm sorry, it's the Carlsbad State Beach.
How many people were going?
Well, Justin and I, we went together.
This is Justin?
That's correct.
Okay.
It was approximately 2 families, maybe 5 people each family, maybe like 12, 13 people.
Okay, now tell me about this episode that you had.
We had a great day. We hung out at the beach with his friend Kenny and their family and his younger brother. He had started drinking over the day, which I didn't really see as a problem.
You mean Justin?
Correct. We eventually decided that the sleeping arrangements would be we would sleep in the bed of his truck with an air mattress because everything else was taken. The tents were taken, the RV was taken.
So who was going to sleep in the truck on an air mattress?
Justin and I.
Okay.
What happened was he started to get like fresh on me and trying to hook up.
At the truck?
Yeah, when we were in bed after everybody else had gone to bed too. I told him I don't want to hook up with you. I expressed so I, wasn't initiating the same type of relations back. And it was an uncomfortable situation. I wasn't interested in doing it. It was cold. The air mist from the ocean was getting us wet. The air mattress was going flat. I mean, it was just a bunch of things. I wasn't interested. And
not romantic.
Yeah, it wasn't romantic. And there were a bunch of people like in tents like around next to the truck. So it wasn't.
So even if you had been so inspired, it wasn't an ideal situation.
Right.
Well, men don't get that.
Sometimes.
They could have mist on their face. They could have soot on their face. It could be raining rodents. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah. Very often they don't need that kind of inspiration. So what happened next, Miss Wages?
Well, after telling him no, he just became really annoyed with me, and he was calling me baby, he was calling me the B word, and all these other things. So I told him, I'm going to leave if this is how you're going to treat me. So I got out of the truck and went to the exit of the campsite of our lot and then went to the right. Unfortunately, that's a dead end. It's not an exit to leave the park.
What time is this?
Maybe 9:45, 9:30.
How did you plan on getting home?
My mom lives less than a mile away on Coast Highway, so I was going to walk
So you're going to walk home?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So I started to walk down there, and he followed me down. He started in on me, started talking to me, you can't leave, you can't do this. So he started grabbing my arms, and he was really adamant about making his point to me. And he grabbed my biceps right here and then was shaking me, and he was screaming at me, literally screaming in my face. We heard a noise from about 200 feet off, like adjacent behind us, and we looked over and I saw his friend Kenny and then Kenny's cousin. And I mean, it's unmistakable because Kenny's 6'7", so I mean, there are not too many people that are tall. So I was like, that's Kenny, he can see you, you better stop, he's watching you. So he stops, he starts to calm down, and he's telling me, please don't be mad at me, just please. He was like begging me, literally like crying, doing these motions. And so I was, okay, well, if you can settle down, then I'll go back there. So I go back, and he had even tried to hold my hand on the walk back, but I was just like, no, I'm not gonna hold your hand after you've just been doing that and shaking and stuff. And he got mad about it and stayed behind. And so I went back to the campsite by myself. When I arrived there, I saw Kenny and his cousin sitting there. And he looked really somber, and he's sitting there and he's asking me, are you okay?
Is this Kenny?
That's Kenny, yes.
You remember that happening?
I don't remember me saying if she was okay or anything. I just remember the incident.
Good. All right, let's get to it. So you're back at the campsite now.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there with Kenny. He's asking me if I'm okay and whatnot. Justin comes up and he says, get over here. And I turned to him and I said, listen, I've already explained to you, if you're going to talk to me that way, I'm not going to talk to you. So he comes, asks nicely, please, I just want to talk to you. Starts bothering me with that begging again. So I go talk to him again. And I decide, okay, we can go to sleep now. This is enough of this. Let's just let it go. So we go into the bed, and he starts to do it again. He was like, getting close to me and trying to kiss me and stuff, and I was like, you know what, finally, I'm gonna leave. I listed off the reasons why.
Okay, you should have done that the first time. So, you got out of the truck. What happened when you got out of the truck?
This time I went the right way down to the exit, and he comes running up behind me, telling me, don't leave, don't leave. And he grabs my arms again. So that time, I was really fed up with the situation. My hands were like this, and I pushed him like forward. I was like, get off of me. And I started walking away, and he really couldn't handle the fact that I was walking away.
Well, you called him a name also.
Well, I called him a moron in the end.
Okay, so you called him a moron. And after you called him a moron, what happened?
Well, what happened is he called me a firsthand, and then I said, I can't be a I'm not sleeping with you, you're a moron.
Okay.
And then so he got mad at me calling him a moron, and he said, oh, I'll show you what a moron is. And he drew back, and then he socked me in the face, and after that, I don't remember anything at that point until I was in the ambulance.
You have medical report?
Certainly.
Can I see them, please?
Sure.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You could fall over here, you could fall over here, fall on the front of your face, but to fall and get this part of your face, that's quite a trick. You ought to be in Cirque du Soleil.
And later today.
Who is this, by the way?
This is my girlfriend, Your Honor.
Does she have anything to contribute to this case other than, looking nice?
No, just
She decided to come with you, to irritate her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Annette Wager says former friend Justin Lawson punched her in the head after she rebuffed his sexual advances.
Okay. Were you smoking marijuana that night?
No, but I have done it in the past.
What about him?
Yes.
Didn't have just a little?
I wasn't with him while he was doing it.
We smoked on the way up there. We smoked a doobie, a joint.
And after that, sir, did you smoke any more?
No.
Okay, Justin.
Well, at the time she was staying with me for a couple weeks, and we got invited to go up to Carlsbad State Beach with his family. I decided to ask her if she wanted to go along. She said yes, that'd be cool. On the way up there, everything was fine. We got up there and stopped at the campsite, had some dinner, and everything was going okay. Yes, I was cuddly with her. At the time, we were intimate. And
You were intimate?
Yes, at the time before.
Just a second. For the first time?
No, this is for 2 weeks prior that we hooked up, and that's when she was living with me. We went to the bar that night.
Is that right?
I had known him for a week, and I wasn't living with him. I was staying with my girlfriend who he knew.
The question is, had you been intimate with him before the night of the 15th of July?
A week prior, yes.
You had been?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you got into the bed of the truck, you anticipated that this was going to be a recurring theme?
Not necessarily. Yes, I can say I have been drinking that night. I got in and just pretty much put my arm around her and cuddled like I would do any other time. Yeah, I might have touched her stomach or rubbed her leg and gave her the wrong impression. Yes, she got out of the car and she walked away. I chased her down because at the time I had feelings for her. I liked her. So I followed her, asked her what was going on, and she said she wasn't happy and that she wanted to leave. We went for the walk, talked about it and everything was fine. All the way back, she was being kind of loud, and she wanted to go into the campsite and get one of her bags or something. I told her that we couldn't go in the campsite until she got a little bit quiet because his parents were sleeping at the time. And she didn't like that fact at all. She wanted her bag out of my truck right then and there. She wasn't going to stay with me that night. She wanted to go home.
So she wanted to go back to the campsite to get her bag to leave?
Yes, out of my truck at the time. And
okay.
At the time, I couldn't let her in just because of my parents were sleeping and she was being loud. She was being belligerent. At the time of that, Kenny walked up with his cousin, asked us what was going on. She said nothing was going on and went in and got her bag or whatever. Well, she started walking off, and I called her name for walking off.
Called her a name?
Yes, I called her a B for walking off,
You mean for leaving?
For leaving, yes. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand what was happening. All night long, everything was great. Through dinner, everything was great. And then...
Well, this was the second time, Justin, that she was trying to leave.
Yeah, she tried to walk away, and I stopped her before, yes.
So why didn't you just let her leave?
Well, the second time when she turned around, I said, I don't know why you're being a B. I don't see why we can't just talk and see what's going on. Because I didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden, she just turned on me. I mean, it was... All night long she was cool, and then all of a sudden she turned on me, and it was totally a different face. So finally I told her, I said, well, yeah, why don't you go home? And so she started walking or whatever. Well, I said something underneath my breath, and she heard me, and she didn't like what I said. To this day, I cannot remember exactly what I said. I might have called her an H or something, but I don't know for sure. She turned around, came over, and started pushing on me. She lunged the last time. I stepped out of the way. She fell down. She was laying on her face. I waited for her to get up or whatever, and she didn't move at all, so I rolled her over, and she was having a seizure. At the time, he ran in and got his dad. His dad's a diabetic, has seizures and stuff, so he's like, she's having a seizure right now, don't touch her.
Who said that?
His father.
I don't care what you say his father said. That's hearsay. If his father wanted to support your position, he could have been here.
He's at work, so...
That's your story. Your story is she fell over and she was having a seizure.
Yes.
She never had a seizure before in her life.
Well, the paramedics, when they came to pick her up, she got up and walked to the ambulance herself. You know, she was...
Did you tell the paramedics she had a seizure?
No,
Are you the friend,
when the
are you the friend that told the paramedics that she had a seizure, Justin?
I told the ranger that I thought she was having a seizure.
You told the ranger that you thought she was having a seizure?
Yeah.
How from a seizure did she have a swollen problem with her temporomandibular joint?
Because she fell face first on the ground.
You fall face first, you fall over here. You don't fall on your side.
Well, when I rolled her over, she was laying with her face like this, like with her arms out.
Justin, I don't buy that, honey.
Well, I'm sorry.
Justin, I don't buy that, my dear.
That's the
If you know why? Because it doesn't make sense. Because if you're having a seizure and you fall, and even if you fall on your side, you fall on this side of your head, you don't. It's very hard to fall on this indentation unless you happen to be unlucky enough to fall on a rock that's sticking out on this part of your face. So you could fall over here, you could fall over here, fall on the front of your face, but to fall and get this part of your face, that's quite a trick. You ought to be in Cirque du Soleil. That's why I don't buy what you're saying to me, Justin.
Okay.
Don't buy it, my dear. And the fact that you went to the hospital afterwards with her and waited for her to wake up and told the doctor before she woke up that she had had a seizure. That's what, you're the friend. You did go to the hospital with her, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Were you nervous?
At the hospital?
Yeah.
I was crying the whole time. I didn't know what
I don't
happened
blame you
to
for
her.
crying. I don't think that you meant anything to happen bad to her that night. I think you had a little too much to drink and a little too much to smoke. And she wanted to leave and she wanted to go home and you didn't want her to go home. And you left out the fact that, according to your answer, you said, I grabbed her bag to throw it back in my truck, but she kept pushing me, trying to get her bag back. How come you forgot that? How come you forgot to tell me that you weren't letting her leave, that you took her bag and you were throwing it in your truck because you were trying to prevent her from leaving?
Well, I just told her that I was going to grab her bag, and I grabbed it as I was saying, I'll take you home in the morning. And at that time, it was no problem until...
Well, how come you didn't tell me that, Justin?
I don't know. I'm sorry I left it out.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Annette Wager says former friend Justin Lawson punched her in the head after she rebuffed his sexual advances.
It's a good story, Justin. It doesn't wash with me. I think you got angry with her. I think when she called you a moron, you hauled off and socked her, and I think she fell down, and she hit her head, and you got a little bit nervous.
Well, I didn't sock her.
Well, that's what I think you did. And since my judgment is the only one that counts, and since her story is supported by what I'm reading in the medical reports, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,900. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. We've known each other for a week, so it wasn't a long-term relationship or anything to get really serious about.
You can't say boyfriend and girl if I can say sexual partners.
Well, if she tried to leave a situation, she should have the right to leave the situation.
Any guy that cares about a girl is not going to let him leave.
No means no.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lombardo versus Rao. Step forward, please.
21-year-old waitress Elizabeth Lombardo is suing her ex-boyfriend, 22-year-old construction worker Bo Rao, for several loans she made throughout their relationship. Bo says Elizabeth is holding his belongings hostage.
Miss Lombardo, this gentleman used to be your boyfriend, and you lived together for a period of time. According to you, when you separated, he owed you some money.
Yes.
Mr. Rao says he doesn't owe you any money. Relationships are a give-and-take thing. So get over it and move on with it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you live together, Miss Lombardo?
We lived together from May probably to August of 2004. We started in May 2003.
Is that about right?
That's about right.
And did you move into an apartment together, or did you...
No, we moved in with my family.
That's wrong, Your Honor. Prior to that, we were living at my apartment with my brother, and she was staying over there. Then we moved.
When was that, sir?
That was April and May. We stayed in the apartment, then moved there.
I still had a room in my house. It wasn't.
I don't care whether you still had a room in your house. Were you living with Mr. Rao and his brother for April and May?
Yes.
And then the two of you moved into her family's house?
Yes, ma'am.
Where you had a room?
Yes.
Fine. So what does he owe you money for?
Throughout the course of our relationship, the defendant didn't have a job, so I helped support him.
Okay.
From a dental bill, his car windshield was smashed, dentist, car
you said
payments,
dentist
municipal
twice.
court payments.
Your Honor, I had a job.
So you gave him money?
Yes.
And?
We had a verbal agreement when we were going out that he would pay it back.
Well, tell me about the verbal agreement that he would pay it back.
Just throughout the court, like he would pay me money when he had money, and like when he didn't have a job, I was always forking out money for him.
How often? 5 times, 10 times, 20 times?
There was always, it was constant.
And he always said to you, you know, you have 20 bucks, I'll pay you back. You have 50 bucks, I'll pay you back.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
Then when we separated, we decided he was going to make payments of $40 a week, in which he never continued to do. I received one payment of $50.
Well, how did you come up with the amount that he owed you?
We kept it in mind at all times.
Did you?
No, Your Honor, when we were going out, we weren't keeping...
When you moved out, did you agree to pay her a sum of money?
Oh, no, Your Honor.
You did not?
No, Your Honor.
When you separated, did you sit down and write up something?
Yes.
Let me see it. Did you sign this IOU?
No, Your Honor. And for us to sign each other's name on something was pretty common. I could show you receipts with my signing for her debit card, or her signing for my debit card. It was nothing.
You didn't sign this?
No, Your Honor.
Fine. Tell me the circumstances surrounding your separation, Mr. Rao.
The relationship just got ridiculous. She was constantly lying. Everything that would come up would be a lie about something. I couldn't live at her house anymore. And I only actually left for the weekend after a fight, and when I came back, all my stuff was at my parents' house, and she said I had to be out.
So she moved your stuff out?
She moved it with no notice of anything, so
Okay.
that she wanted me out.
I'm ready to hear the rest. 30 seconds or less, Ms. Lombardo.
When he moved out, when he wanted his bed, his stuff was there, that's when well, you don't believe that he signed the paper.
Well, just a minute. So if what you're telling me, you told me he couldn't take his things unless he signed the paper?
Mm-hmm.
Then even if he signed it, it's worthless.
He had this agreement with me.
Let me explain something to you. He didn't. What you're saying is that during the course of your year and some months relationship, if you gave him 20 bucks, if you gave him $50, whatever it was, he said to you, when I get it, I'll pay you back. And that's what people do when they live together and they're not married. Don't worry, honey, I'll pay you back. That's not a loan. When two people play house and not commit to a relationship as we know it and get married, courts aren't interested in going over $20 here, $5 here, $15 there, $100 for the dentist, $12 for this. Courts aren't interested in doing that. We got other things to do. Mm-hmm. So it's been my suggestion, if you watch carefully, if I've always said, keep your finances separate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to put a real period and say, it's over.
I'm fine.
How
with
old
that.
are you?
21.
21? Perfect. You didn't waste a lot of your time. You didn't waste the best years. You didn't waste the flowing years. Who is this, by the way?
This is my girlfriend, Your Honor.
She have anything to contribute to this case other than, you know, looking nice?
No, just
she decided to come with you
she's
to
seen,
irritate
she's
her.
seen the craziness.
To irritate her.
Yeah.
Well, probably not the best idea to bring her. Who is this?
This is my friend.
So he brought a girlfriend, you brought a friend. Move on. He did. You should. Have a happy life. Case dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
In the matter of Bishop versus Schultz. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Bishop, you and your family were renters in a 4-unit complex, according to what I read in your complaint. The other 3 apartments or condos were occupied by owners.
Correct.
And it is your claim that the defendants did several things. First, they told untruths to the cooperative association and therefore your landlord.
Yes.
Causing you to be evicted.
Yes.
And next, you allege that the defendants, one or both of them, put needles in your laundry which got into your baby's pajamas, which caused injury to the baby.
But
shh. And you want to be compensated.
Yes, ma'am.
I assume that they did not put any needles in your laundry on purpose. If needles got into the laundry because Mrs. Schultz is a diabetic,
yes,
does use needles.
No.
Doesn't use needles.
No.
Okay, interesting. And in addition, that whatever statements they made to the landlord, your landlord, were true, and if you were evicted, it was because of your own conduct. That's their defense. I just want to check something. Well, I'm reading your answer, Mr. Schultz, and your answer says, my wife is diabetic, and when the plaintiff's husband brought the lancets to me...
There's a difference between lancets and needles.
Oh, okay, lancets.
Okay, yes.
So I used the wrong word.
Lancets.
When plaintiff's husband brought lancets to me, he said he found them in the washer, My wife is diabetic, but they did not look like the lancets my wife used. So we're using a different term.
Right,
Needles,
right. Well, there is
lancets.
a difference between lancets and needles.
Okay. When did you move in, Mrs. Bishop, with your family?
August of '03.
And how many members were there in your family?
3, myself, my husband, and my baby.
How old is your baby?
1 year and 4 months.
Did you have trouble with Mr. and Mrs. Schultz or any of the other neighbors when you moved in?
Just the Schultz. No, the other neighbors were very kind and friendly, normal neighbors.
What happened with Mr. and Mrs. Schultz?
I think the first month or two was fine. We were friends.
Well, actually, it was...
I didn't ask you anything yet.
Mr. Schultz was very kind and helpful, showing us where the things were, telling us how things ran around there, like he was a
That was the
landlord.
first month or two?
First month or two. I understood from the neighbor in number 2, Tammy.
Don't tell me anything that a neighbor told you.
Okay, I understood she needed a kidney. So I went up and offered her a kidney and asked her what blood type she was. She said she was blood type AB. And we talked about it.
So, it's good.
To my best recollection. Anyways.
Go ahead.
So, just things started happening where the laundry part problems. They parked in a, his truck is very big, it's a Bronco, and it's blocked our space. When we moved in, we asked him several times to please move it. We can't get our car in the garage. Here's a violation that was written on my car because his car was parked in my space, so I had to scoot my car over the line. So I was ticketed because they called on me after we asked them to move the car and complained to the landlord.
Mr. Schultz, did you and the plaintiff and or her husband ever have a conversation with... Could you stand up and take your hand off your hip?
I'm sorry?
Did you and the plaintiff or her husband ever have a conversation with regard to your truck encroaching on their parking space?
No, not...
Never?
No.
Never?
No.
Your Honor?
No.
And actually...
However, excuse me, Your Honor, however, though, I did quite a few times ask them if they could move their car over because I couldn't get into my car, and she is...
Now, just one second.
Okay.
So there was a problem.
There was a problem.
Now, when there was a problem, it was because their car was parked too close to the line, yet their car was parked within their lines. But you have a very large car, and in order for you to get in and out of your spot, you wanted them to move their car further over.
To the other line.
I understand. Your wife is answering the question, sir. I mean, you know, I understand. She understands what I'm saying. You may want to give me a lot of baloney, but I'm not going to tolerate it. You asked them to move their car to the other side because you have a very large car and it was difficult for you to get in and out of your car. Is that a fair statement?
That would be a fair statement.
That's a fair statement. Okay. And what I assume happened is you parked it as close to the line as you possibly could. Is that what you're telling me?
Not necessarily, but
Not necessarily. Let me see the pictures. I'm 10 steps ahead of you, sir.
There's a picture
I'm
of his
10 steps
Bronco,
ahead of you.
And here's the rules and regulations.
You know, fortunately, we all come to our jobs, Mr. Schultz, with a life's experience.
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, well, in this case, you may not be. Let's get to the rest of the complaints that were made, because that's what you're alleging. Let's get there, and let's get there fast.
Okay.
And then we'll get to the lancets.
Okay.
Your Honor?
What?
May I ask my witness to come up and explain?
Absolutely. Who are you?
I'm her husband, Brett Bishop.
Okay, do you have the complaints?
No, we do not have the complaints.
Well, then how am I supposed to adjudicate that part of
We
your
were not
claim?
able to get them from our landlord in time.
Well, then, yeah, I have to strike that part of your claim.
Okay, then I have nothing in that regard.
Good, fine. And let's get to the needles incident.
I went out to get the baby's laundry out of the dryer. And
When was this?
January 29th. And found needles in the dryer, and I came back in the house and called my husband, and he told me that they might be hers because she's diabetic.
Okay. Do you have any of them with you?
Yes.
And this was before you put any clothes on the baby?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Similar of what the needles look like.
You see, what you state in your complaint is that your baby was uncomfortable, and the next morning you found needles in her pajamas. Then you went down to the laundry and you found needles. Now you tell me that on the 29th of January, you went down to the dryer and found needles in the dryer.
I got the needles out of the dryer, and I came back into the house and called the police.
Yes.
My husband came home at the same time.
Yes.
And he can pick it up from there.
The police officer went and spoke with Mrs. Schultz.
Listen to me. Were you there when the police officer spoke to Mrs. Schultz?
I was not in his presence. He spoke to her on her balcony. We waited in the house. He came down and told us what she said.
That's hearsay. I'll look at a police report if you have it.
Yeah, we have a police report. In that police report, she admits that the needles were hers. Sorry.
Now, according to the police report, I'm just telling you what the police report says.
Okay.
It says that you advised the police that the needles were left in your clothing by accident. I got it. What's next?
We have photographs of the needle, and we did not know that where the needle came from, where the scratches came from originally.
I don't know what scratches you're talking about, Matt. I have no clue as to what scratches you're talking about.
We found a needle later in my baby's diaper. After we phoned the police, we discovered that the scratches that were on her that were not on their way.
I have no idea what you're talking about, madam. I asked you, tell me about the incident involving the needles.
Okay.
And you told me on the 29th of January you found needles in the laundry. And now you're talking to me about scratches, and I have no clue as to what you're talking about.
On the 28th night, I put my baby to bed. In the morning when she woke up, my husband...
It was on the 9th.
What are you telling me?
On the 9th, we put our baby to bed. I usually put the baby to bed, and she had no scratches to her labia area. She was very fussy that night. We thought she was teething. The next morning when I got up to take her to the nanny, I noticed when I was changing her, she had a dirty diaper, so I wiped her up, and I noticed that there were scratches to her vagina area. We have pictures.
What kind of diapers do you use?
Pampers.
Well, how could she have scratches to her vaginal area?
That's where we're getting at, is the whole reason why we're here is the needles that this lady put in our laundry somehow got into our baby's diaper, scratched up her labia. We have pictures to document that. We have pictures of the needles and our emergency room doctor.
We dug through the diaper pail.
Saw those.
We have a diaper pail we keep the diapers in, and after discussing with the officer and finding out the needles 2 weeks later that she had got scratched from, we assumed we better look through the old diapers that we keep in the pail, which we have pictures of the diaper pail and the needle in the dirty diaper. So that's how we didn't know where the scratches came from.
But you don't put diapers in the wash.
Shh. Push it.
So we put 2 and 2 together and took her to the emergency room, and they wrote the report that needles stick to the labia. And they did the HIV test on her, hepatitis testing. And
so what you're telling me is, I mean, I don't know what these pictures show, madam. You're showing me a picture of a dirty diaper with a blue needle in it. Is that what you're showing me you found?
Yes.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that 2 weeks later you kept dirty diapers in a pail.
The baby goes to the nanny Monday through Friday.
Let me explain something to you, madam. I do not believe that you kept dirty diapers in a pail from January 9th to January 30th. I don't believe it. It doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it ain't true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
I assume that you have a busy life. I want to know why you're suing him over swimsuit and shoes. I'm just curious. Yet you took time out to file a lawsuit about your swimsuit and shoes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Renee Bishop says her former condo neighbors, Michelle and Perry Schultz, put needles into a laundry dryer, causing injury to her baby. Renee also claims the Schultzes lied to the landlord and got her evicted.
I believe that you probably found a couple of her needles in the dryer. That's a possibility. And maybe you figured you could parlay that into something else, but I do not believe. And I'm not crazy about their attitude, especially his. I'm not sure about hers yet, but especially his. But if you think you're going to parlay that into a monetary award, you are wrong, because I do not believe this evidence, which is a 2-week-old diaper that you kept in a pail in her room and happened to open it up and found within the diaper that your husband said he changed on the 9th of January, a blue needle that he overlooked. I don't buy it.
It was
My problem is that 3 weeks later, or 2.5 weeks later, when you found this, you took your child to the emergency room?
Mm-hmm.
What date did you take the child to the emergency room?
The 29th.
29th. So what you're telling me is you didn't see the problem on the 9th.
Yes, we did.
Well, show me what you did.
I took her to my doctor for shots. 2 days later, she had a date for shots.
Sure,
There's red
good.
marks on the
Let
buttocks.
me see. Let me see. 2 days later, let me see what the report says. Well, infant.
Red marks on
Red
buttock.
mark on buttock. That's not what your husband just told me. Your husband told me that she had needle punctures on her labia. Listen, what do you think? I was born yesterday. Your case is dismissed. They may have not been good neighbors, and they may have done a lot of things that were nasty to you, but you're not going to parlay that. My only problem is you did take the child 2.5 weeks later to an emergency room where somebody found a needle prick on the child. My question is, how did it get there 2.5 weeks later when it wasn't on the doctor's report 2 days after what you allege is the incident?
Because
that causes me a great deal of concern. Not from them, but from you. Your case is dismissed.
Your Honor,
Step out.
thank you, Your Honor.
Out.
Thank you.
I didn't put the lancets in the washer or the dryer.
They just started turning psycho and messing with our cars, cutting our vehicles up, all kinds of stuff.
We've lived there 8 years, never had a problem with anybody until they moved in.
I think because they're just really jealous. Their kid's autistic, unfortunately.
So does that mean I'm jealous of every normal child in this world? I don't think so.
He used to tell us all the time, oh, you're so lucky to have a healthy baby. She's so beautiful. She's so this, she's so that. And I think there was a fine line between jealousy and hatred.
That's just a farce. I mean, they're just reaching, you know. Desperate people will do desperate things, you know, and they're desperate.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McCullough versus Nelson's Nautilus. Step forward, please.
Student Renee McCullough is suing the owners of her gym, Preston Nelson and John Ashey, for breaking into her locker and selling her belongings. The men say Renee's locker dues were 6 months delinquent.
Miss McCullough, you belonged to the defendant's gym, according to your complaint, for about 9 years.
That's correct.
And then there came a time recently that you stopped going, about a year ago. And it is your claim that they clipped the lock off your locker after several months and got rid of your stuff. You want them to pay you $600 for what you claim was in the locker. When did you first rent your locker?
The first time I rented it was for a year. It was in November of 2001.
And how much was the rental on the locker for that year?
I paid $100. He gave me a break. I paid a year in advance.
Is that right?
That sounds correct.
Okay, $100 for the year. That was in 2001.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay in 2002? Is not an answer.
No.
Why not?
Because it was my understanding when I paid for my year in advance that it would be included in my automatic payment out of my bank, and in the event that it wasn't, that Preston would let me know.
Did you have that conversation with her?
I couldn't. I would say yes, I did. We could not find any paperwork to show that, and so I don't know where it all fell short, but I have no paperwork that would show that. Typically, it was a prepaid year only.
Okay. When did you stop going to the gym at all?
At approximately middle of 2002.
And when did you go back?
The end of July of 2003.
And when you went back in July of 2003, you found your locker opened?
Exactly.
Okay, well, you know, that's well over a year ago. What have you done in the last year?
After I found out my lock had been cut off, I spoke to Mr. Ashby, and he said he had to speak to his wife to find out where my belongings were. He thought that they still had them on the premises. At that time, I found out that no, they were no longer there. I left a note with Mr. Ashby concerning, you know, I had quite a bit of belongings in that locker, and that if they would pay me for my swimsuit and my shoes, I would go away.
Do you work? I assume you do.
I did previous to this, yes.
What are you doing now?
I'm going back to school.
How do you support yourself?
Through my husband.
Oh, okay. So your family supports itself?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going back to school. What I want to know is, I assume that you have a busy life. I want to know why you're suing him over swimsuit and shoes. I'm just curious. Yet you took time out to file a lawsuit about your swimsuit and shoes.
It's the principle of the thing. I expect that if they run a business, that they need to comply with the laws that regulate the renting of areas.
Well, but the truth of the matter is, Ms. McCullough, from what you tell me, you didn't go back to the gym for almost a year. And during that period of time, the locker was really not paid for. You assumed that it was going to be paid for. You assumed that they would notify you in the event that it wasn't paid for. Have you lived in the same place
yes.
all the time? Well, what I don't understand, Mr. Nelson, quite frankly, is why couldn't you just send her a note? Drop her a note and say, listen, we're going to empty out your locker because it hasn't been paid for, and it has to be paid for. You know, you better come and get it within the next 2 weeks.
Right. That really, a lot of the specifics, when Johnny came on board, the records were not well kept. We didn't have an automatic payment system in place for lockers. That was something that was discussed, but primarily it's a membership tanning health club.
Okay. So what Miss McCullough was asking for initially was $160. Is that right?
That's what I have, yes.
Right. That's what she said here. Originally, I told him, you've just paid me $160 for my swimsuit and sneakers. That would be fine. And she's here just for the principle of it. Right?
Correct.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $160. That's all. Thank you.
Excuse me. 76 on the calendar in the matter of Lewis versus Christensen. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Lewis, who is this young lady?
This is my fiance.
And Miss Christensen, who is this gentleman?
This is my husband, Jamie.
Are these people here for moral support? Is that what this is all about?
Character.
Character. I acknowledge the fact that the two of you have a character. You also have a child together.
Yes.
You have any other children?
No, I don't.
You have any other children?
I have 2 other children.
How old are they?
A 4-year-old and a 16-month-old.
And how old is the child that you share?
She's 7.
Did you live together before she was born?
Yes.
For how long?
Before she's born, year and a half.
Did you live together after she was born?
Yes.
For how long?
Almost 2 years.
Any reason why you never married?
Just didn't work out.
Different goals in life.
Different goals. But the one goal that you had in common was having a child together. Perfect. This is what the case is about. After you separated, ultimately, the courts got involved and set up a child support order as well as an order that directed that each of you would change claiming the child as a deduction on your income tax returns. This past year was your year, Mr. Lewis, to claim the child as a deduction. The caveat was that you had to be current with your child support. When you went to claim the child on your tax returns, you were advised by, I assume, your tax preparer that Mrs. Christensen had already claimed her as a deduction, despite the fact that the court order allowed you to do it. So you want what would have been your refund for the child.
That's right.
Ms. Christensen says that you were not current in your child support payments, and therefore it didn't trigger your claiming the child as a deduction. She is counterclaiming for some nonsense, which says that because your check is garnished for your child support, a certain amount is deducted for administrative costs for the deduction of your child support, and she thinks that you should pay her that amount. That's what your counterclaim is. It's really nonsense. That's something that the state imposes, not the plaintiff. Okay? Let me see the last order of support and the first order of support.
That's the only order that was made.
Yeah.
One order.
One.
You petitioned the court, is that right, sir?
Yes, I did.
For an order of paternity, custody, and/or visitation. Was that because you were having problems with visitation?
Yeah, she told me I had no rights to my daughter. And to take
How
her to
long have you
court.
been married, Miss Christensen?
5 years.
How often were you seeing your daughter at the time that Miss Christensen got married?
Every other Sunday. Started out as a weekends and went to Sundays. Her and one of my ex-girlfriends had a fight.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Sure.
Mr. Lewis has been sporadic with his visitation with his daughter. It is true, me and one of his girlfriends who, at the time, we didn't get along, and we got in an assault fight kind of concept on one of his visitations. So at that time, I asked that he had his visitation with my daughter at his parents' house. And then that way there wouldn't be any problems with anybody's relationships. I didn't want to be in an argument and a fight every time we had to drop or pick up our daughter. I didn't want to go over to his house and be assaulted by his girlfriend.
Well, that's absolutely correct. You shouldn't be in contact with anybody, but that doesn't mean he has to have visitation with his child at his parents' house.
I understand that, Your Honor, but Mr. Lewis has been in and out of jail for drug charges. He's led a very colorful life, and I didn't feel that
Did you
my
know
daughter...
about that when you had a...
I did, and he was going to
I'm
rehab.
speaking. Did you know about that when you had a child with him?
Correct, and he was going to rehab.
Then you picked him.
Mm-hmm.
He's your child's father.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Can't come as a surprise to you. Okay. It's clear pursuant to this agreement, Ms. Christensen, that Mr. Lewis had the right to claim your daughter on his tax returns for this year. And you did. Why?
Your Honor, he was not current.
Show me.
Okay, I have a paper here from the state.
What is your child support obligation, sir?
$216 a month.
Okay.
He was not current on his child support or his medical obligations.
Just a second. Wait 1 second. I'm looking at January. I want to find January.
I have one starting from January.
Okay. How much is owed? Just take a look at it, and I want you to read out.
$46.14 was owed.
$46?
Correct. On just the child support.
Just a second. That's all I'm interested in. $46.
Correct, Your Honor.
So that's not a reason to claim the child on your tax returns as a dependent. I will tell you that right now. Shh. And aside from the fact that he says he paid it, that $46 from whatever amount that was, but at $216 a month for the past year, if what he is $46 in arrears, I think it's overreaching, Mrs. Christensen, for you to claim that is the reason that you didn't follow the court order. You say it's more than that. So tell me what's more.
I gave him a list of the items that he owed.
I'd like to see it.
And
when did you give him the list?
He knew at the time when we...
When did you give him the list?
I gave him the list in...
February 10th.
January. And he
Just a second. Whoa. Why did you wait until after the first of the year to give him a list that said that he owed Tanner Clinic $25 copay, Visual $45 copay, and health insurance for 2004 $350 yearly? Why?
Because Mr. Lewis never contacted me to ask me.
I want to tell you something.
Anything.
You're slick. You're slick, but nasty. You're a slick lady, but a nasty lady.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you were being a reasonable person, you would have advised him of that on the 1st of December instead of sucker punching him and waiting until he could no longer comply with his obligation. Put your hand down. Does it sound like you're losing?
And later today,
He filed false charges saying that I was an unfit parent, I can't take care of my children. They came into my house, they found nothing at all to say that I was an unfit parent.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Eric Lewis says ex-girlfriend Nikki Christensen owes for declaring their daughter on her taxes. Nikki claims Eric is neglecting their child.
This was within your control. And if you said to me that in November I sent him a list and I said to him, this is what you owe to keep yourself current with regard to the court order, then I might have sympathy for you. It is disingenuous of you to send him this in January. You got it?
I understand.
Good. Now, how much of a benefit did you obtain by claiming the child this year on your tax returns?
I'm not even sure the full amount, Your Honor.
Do you know?
I know what I lost, not what she would have made.
Well, what did you lose?
$2,900.
Show me.
I have the copy when it was first done, and then when it was done a couple days later after they told me she'd already been claimed.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
I didn't feel it was my job to go out and babysit him and tell him, you need to be paying me this. That's why I originally went and got involved with the state, to garnish his wages.
Listen to me, madam. You didn't file the petition. He did. He asked the court to set a support order. He asked the court to set a visitation order. That's the caption of the petition. Put your hand down. It doesn't mean you have to babysit him. It just means that you have to be a reasonable person. And if you had obligations that you felt as if he should have paid in 2004 in order to let him claim the child as a deduction, if you were being a reasonable person, you would have advised him of that on the 1st of December instead of sucker punching him and waiting until January 10th when he could no longer comply with his obligation. Put your hand down. Does it sound like you're losing?
No, ma'am.
You chose him to father a child, and it would probably be a hell of a lot easier for you now that you're married and have 2 other children if he were no longer in your life, if he took a powder someplace and wasn't involved. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. You two are tied to each other. Get used to it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,900. Your counterclaims dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Mr. Lewis has been in and out of her life, and until he's been in the serious relationship, didn't choose to really have a very adequate relationship with his daughter.
I had my daughter every other Sunday for 2 years before this.
I hope they build and bond and grow.
Oh, I'll still have her every other weekend.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Blair versus Cheverini, step forward, please.
21-year-old nurse's assistant Tricia Blair is suing her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old construction worker Joseph Cheverini, for unpaid rent and bills. Joseph says he moved out because he caught Tricia smoking marijuana with their kids.
Miss Blair, you and Mr. Cheverini lived together, you have a child together, and you have a child from a previous relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
You signed a lease for an apartment, and the thrust of your complaint is that Mr. Shivarini moved out of the apartment, leaving you with 5 months' rent to pay on the apartment, and you want him to pay the remainder of the lease, which is 5 months.
Yes, ma'am.
And he says pretty much grow up. You got a restraining order against him that was bogus. He was forced out of the house, and he has absolutely no intention
Yes, ma'am.
of paying the rent. So I have a couple of questions. When did you sign the lease?
In August of '04.
And how old are your children?
4 years old and 3 months old.
And where is the father of your 4-year-old?
He's in the Marines in North Carolina.
Were you married to him?
No.
Does he see the child?
No, he does not.
Does he support the child?
Yes, he does.
How much does he send?
$294 a month, court ordered.
When was the last time you were employed?
March of last year.
Who supported your household while you were living with Mr. Shivarini?
I collected disability.
What was the nature of your disability?
I have to have surgery on my stomach. I was born with intestinal problems, and I've had to have several surgeries to fix it.
You mean your disability didn't prevent you from having 2 children, but it prevents you from working?
Yes, I can't lift over 5 to 7 pounds. I'm not allowed to lift my arms above my head. I have problems holding down food.
You can't lift more than 5 to 7 pounds. Who lifts your babies?
Well, my son, he walks, but he
well,
was
your son
a
didn't
big help.
walk when he was 3 months old or 6 months old and 9 months old.
I had surgery prior to that, and I hadn't had any problems until just before I had my daughter. My stomach surgery came undone just because it's been 8 years since I had my last surgery, just from normal wear and tear on my body.
How much does your daughter weigh now?
Right now, she weighs 13 pounds.
Who supported your household for the last year?
Me and him, we split things evenly. I gave my child support plus my disability.
You weren't collecting disability all during that time?
I have been. I have been collecting since we lived in our apartment disability. The last check I received was in October. We moved in August.
But that was before your daughter was born?
Yes.
You told me that you weren't sick before your daughter was born.
No, I
Didn't
was
you just
ill
tell me
my whole
that everything was okay until you didn't have a little more wear and tear
I'm sorry,
after your daughter was
what I
born?
meant to say was that I was having problems during my pregnancy. I was seeing my physician regularly, and he advised me that because I had found out in March that I was pregnant, that I should not work because I could not lift and it would cause harm to the baby.
There are an awful lot of things you can do without lifting 7 to 10 pounds, like answering a phone. That only weighs a couple of ounces. That's a job.
My daughter is only 3 months. I haven't been working due to the fact that she's so young right now.
So that the baby is with you all the time and you manage to lift 13 pounds.
I have no choice. He's not in the home. What am I going to do, let her starve to death?
All I'm suggesting to you, Miss Blair, is that when people scam the government, it irritates me.
I would never.
Well, you are. Because if you're lifting a 13-pound baby, you can lift something 7 pounds and get a job. And if you're taking care of a child that weighs more than 7 pounds, then whatever you said to Social Security disability, which is I cannot lift anything above 7 pounds, is not true because you do every day.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tricia Blair says ex-boyfriend Joseph Shivarini owes for breaking a lease. Joseph says Tricia has a restraining order against him.
Hey, I forgot what your complaint is. All right. So there came a time he moved out of the house. When did you move out, sir?
Just recently, about a month ago.
And you took the 2 children with you?
Yes.
Why?
Because I have a problem with her excessive partying.
What do you mean excessive partying? What does that mean?
You know, drinking and other uses.
I don't know. We're in court. You tell me. She drinks and she uses drugs?
Occasionally.
What kind of drugs?
Marijuana.
And when you came home from work about a month ago, what was it that precipitated you leaving?
The house was full of smoke, and my newborn baby was in the house along with the 4-year-old.
What kind of smoke?
Pot smoke.
Really?
Your Honor, that's not true.
I'll get to you in a second. What did you say to her?
Well, we got into an argument, and she decided she was going to leave with the kids, and I wasn't having that. So I had called the cops to arrest her because she had previous warrants for assault and driving on a suspended license because I didn't want her to take the kids out of my house.
Okay. And that was successful. So they came and they arrested her.
Yep.
And you took the children. Where did you take the children?
To my sister's house.
Under what circumstances does Ms. Blair get the children back?
She put a restraining order out saying, using false allegations, saying I assaulted her. Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to see the allegations.
Saying I've hit her several times and verbally assaulted.
All right, so she filed this petition asking for a protective order for herself and for the children.
Correct.
And she wants temporary custody of the minor child, and that is Jada, that's your daughter.
Yep.
The other one she doesn't need custody of because she already has custody of that child. And when the police came to your house, what happened?
They gave me the papers and they said that I had to release the baby.
And did you?
Yes, with no problems.
And that was when, sir?
I don't know.
February 23rd, Your Honor.
Okay, and in the petition you asked him to stay away from you, is that right? So how could you ask him for rent?
The claim has been dismissed since March 11th.
Just a second. So you dismissed the claim on March 11th?
Yes. When I
indicating that you were in fear for your life and safety and in fear for your children, you needed a protective order. And I'm asking you, between February 23rd and March 11th, what happened to alleviate your fear?
I was hoping to reconcile everything. I wanted to get back together. I was hoping maybe we could go to family counseling.
You mean after you said all of these horrible things about him? He
Your
hit
Honor,
you,
he
he
said
kicked you.
so many...
I'm speaking. He kicked you, he beat you, he hit you in front of your brother, he hit you in front of your sister, and abused you, both verbally and physically. Then you wanted to reconcile with him.
We have 2 children, Your Honor.
So the answer is, nothing happened between February 23rd and March 11th when you dropped the case. All of a sudden you
I had
felt
spoken
safe.
with his lawyer. His lawyer was trying to get us into family counseling. We were hoping to make things work for the sake of the children.
It didn't work.
I know.
And now you're living in the apartment? I suggest you stay there. He's not paying for it.
I can't
afford him. Then move. He's not coming back to a situation where, on your whim, you can go and get a protective order put out against him, citing egregious acts of assault where you are in fear for your life, and then miraculously, in a relatively short period of time, without any intervention, that fear is gone. So he would be an idiot to live with you, knowing that you know how to do this. I think he would be an idiot to come back home because you resorted to this in order to get the children back.
Your Honor, he filed false charges with Child Family Services saying that I was an unfit parent, I can't take care of my children. They came into my house and they found nothing at all to say that I was an unfit parent.
One thing that they
He
should
made false
do,
statements against me with his lawyer.
is they should do a hair follicle test to see if you use drugs.
He has
And
used
maybe-
drugs also. He is addicted to coke.
So is what you're telling me is it's okay for you to use marijuana?
Your Honor, I have not
because,
smoked
listen to me, you said it, he uses drugs too, is what you said.
No,
so is what you're telling me is it's okay for you to use drugs because the father uses drugs also? Is that what you're telling me? All I said was...
Since my child has been, since I've been pregnant, a long time ago. We've been in a relationship for 2 years. My daughter, it only takes 9 months to conceive a child. He was using
No, it
things
doesn't
against
take
me
9
from-
months, it takes 9 seconds. Miss Blair, you have no case. You currently seeking custody of
No,
this
he's
child?
not.
When is your next court date?
Supposedly April 4th.
You suggest to the court that both of you submit to hair follicle tests because you now have this on tape where she says that you are addicted to cocaine, and you say merely a month ago she was using marijuana to the extent that the fumes were all over your house.
Your Honor, that was his nephew.
Just a second. So that if, in fact, she had used marijuana, it stays in the hair.
I know.
And there's a buildup. But I'm going to tell you something, people in glass houses...
No. I have nothing to worry about.
Very good. Miss Blair, your case is dismissed. That's all.
Excuse me, you may step out.